Zakka, could you just highlight, because this is something you've always told us in the newsroom, could you highlight for us all the different pieces that there are involved in making each news story, right from the camera person on the ground to the reporters on the ground to the different pieces that work together to make a news come alive on air?
I think that's a great question. For viewers sitting at home and watching this broadcast, you see Toya, you see me, you see some of our reporters who come on air, you see some of our anchors who bring you shows through the dayside programming as well as prime time. But Team CNN News 18 is a vast swathe of people who are behind the scenes, from assignment folks who are our people on our input desk, where all the news from around the world and around the country come to them. We have our output desk, which then collates it and puts it on air. We have our social media team who then publicize all of these stories and publish them on social media. We have video editors who have to edit footage. After all, it is an audio-visual medium. So we have video editors who, edit the best pictures and make it available to you. We have graphic artists who enhance the video quality with graphic elements. We have camera persons who shoot some of the most defining images, some of the most defining visuals of the day, and send it across for our teams to use on broadcast and on social. So I think it's great testimony to not just the folks who come on air and who present the news or who are reporters, but this is a great affirmation for all of those people who are working behind the scenes, because without them, this product would not come out in the form and fashion that it does day in and day out. So I think it's a great hat tip, as far as I'm concerned, to camera persons, input desk folks, output desk folks, social media folks, video editors, graphic personnel, producers, all of them who are behind the scenes, who are toiling just as hard, in fact, probably even more hard than the folks who come on air and put this product, deliver this product at the kind of quality that you see day in and day out. So I think, again, a tip of my hat to all of those folks who are working and toiling away behind the scenes, away from all this glitz and glamour and the camera arc lights. They are the ones who are truly representatives of brand CNN News 18, because they are the ones who are making this brand, they are the ones who are putting together this brand, and they are the ones who are putting this brand out there day in and day out. So thank you to all of those folks behind the scenes who've been working hard to make this product the success that it has become today.
Okay, and Zakka, if I could ask you one more question. Of course, one of the things we say is that every story is important. But in the last year, if you could just walk our audiences through what some of the stories that have stayed with you have been, and what the process of bringing that story to life. As you were saying, people right from the ground to the newsroom. So what that process has looked like.
Oh, we've had incredible stories over the last 1 year. To start with, we've had a war, and that war is still continuing, the Russia-Ukraine war. And it has had implications far beyond the shores of those countries. It has had implications here for us in India, implications across the world. Global geopolitics has changed because of that. Domestically, too, we've had multiple elections. We've had the big UP elections that happened here. Then we had the Gujarat and Himachal elections at the fag end of last year. And now we're again back in election season with Karnataka going to polls. So we've had multiple, domestic elections which have had, wider ramifications for the country over the last year or so. We've had big political developments. India's hosting the G20 this year, so we've had a run-up of events in the lead-up to the big summit that happens in September. We've had an earthquake in Turkey. We've had multiple, cataclysmic events that have had a huge bearing. No matter where they've happened, they've had an impact here in India, and vice versa. Events that have happened here in India, which have had an impact around the world. So it's been fascinating this last year, news-wise, and I think that's also one of the reasons why our viewers have affirmed that what they really want to see is the news. They want to see what is happening around them, why it's important, and they want them they want folks to tell them why something has happened and why they should care about those events in a non-partisan, non-hyper kind of way. And I think that's what CNN News 18 has managed to do over the last 52 weeks. So once again, like I said, this is an incredible achievement for any TV channel. I can't think of a comparable sort of record in the recent past for any channel, not just in the English space, but frankly across languages spaces as well, whether it's in Hindi or in regional languages. I can't think of a channel that has dominated the ratings in this kind of fashion. So once again, I want to thank our viewers for reaffirming that we're doing something right. And I think that for us is the biggest validation. The biggest validation from our viewers is that you guys are on the right track. Keep going. We want more of what you're doing. And I think that is something that we are extremely, extremely thrilled about.
Zakka, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing us your perspective on this. I'd also, once again, like Zakka said, like to thank our viewers. We like to maintain an open platform here. So continue to give us feedback on any of our social media platforms about what you've liked in the manner in which we've covered stories over the last 1 year. Thank you for joining us over this one last year. CNN News 18 closing out 1 year of leadership as #1. Thank you for watching. And that's all that we have for you here on the show.